Today we are
Actually,
going to speak to
I'm
Mutombo
very
the
comfortable.
Poet of Ghana, a prolific spoken word artist, and he's going to be interacting with us and talking about his recent activities. Now, Mutombo, how are you doing today?
Oh, Charlie, I am doing good. Oh, and you?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Now, since we last featured you on the blog, The African Dream, um, most of your fans who read that piece have been asking a lot about you. So I told them that I'll try to get in touch with you and let them hear from the horse's own mouth. So briefly tell
Oh,
us, what have you been up to of late?
oh, Charlie, I'm up to so many things. I'm still going through shows. I was actually in a show last 2 days, and I have a couple of shows coming up. I'm going through radio and TV interviews. I am recording, and we just finished shooting Kosov Moni Part 2. That should be out in like 2 or 3 months. So yeah, there are loads of things going on, and Charlie, small. We are trying to make you
So
know ends meet.
you obviously have your hands full with a lot of activities. Now,
Yeah,
your
yes.
new album is out. I hear it. It's called Socially You. I shared it on Twitter myself a couple of days ago. Now, what inspired this album and the message that it carries?
Actually, that isn't an album. That's a single track.
Okay,
You know, yeah. I mean, basically talks about my life on the internet. Earlier on this year, I took an award with the blog camp. You know, blogging Ghana.
right. I heard about
Award
that.
thing. I took the award for. I took the award for artist with the best social media presence, and that says a whole lot about me. I'm so active on the internet, on Twitter, Facebook, Google Plus, you just name it. So I thought,
Right.
why don't I write something about my life on the internet? So I did, and not knowing, so many people actually had the same, faults, yeah, faults. I call them faults because
Right.
now we don't have time for our friends when we are out. We just have time for our phones and taking shots and doing all sort of stuff on our phones. So I was like, let me just write something based on my life on social media, and it turned out good.
Now it's interesting you're saying what you're just saying right now because I remember sometime almost early in the beginning of the year I spoke with Jamila Abdullah, who was also a winner of an award by the Blogging Ghana contest that was organized. I think she was one of the best blogger in the entire country, and she talked about mostly the same things you're talking about, which stresses the fact that a lot of people have been so much involved in spending more time on the internet and with social media than amongst themselves and interacting on a human level. So it's quite interesting that you are
It is very,
coming out
very
with a
crazy.
single. Yeah, your single is addressing
It
this
is, it
issue.
is,
Now
yeah, it
uh
is very, very, very crazy.
right. I know you're a spoken word poet, obviously, and a very great poet from Ghana was recently killed in the attacks at the Westgate Mall in Kenya. That poet is in the person of Kofi Awonoor. Now, how did you hear about his death, and how is it affecting you personally?
I heard it on CNN. I was actually following the story that very day, but on Twitter, like Ghana Twitter, it wasn't that serious
Right.
because there was no Ghanaian dead, then. But on Sunday, news came that our own prof was part and had, you know, met his death. It was sad because he was one of the poets that I had to read in school. I read about three of his poems. Read Tusika, Rediscovery, and there's this is this Sad Sorrows, or yeah, one other poem. And
Right.
I actually met him some years back. I've met him about 3 times. He has my album Photosentences. So Charlie, it came as a big blow, and actually, his son that he was with at the time is a friend. So Charlie, everything came like me, and it's so sad, and I keep on asking myself, why was he there at that particular time? Why was he
Right.
there? Because Prof actually cuts across. He was a statesman, he
Yeah.
was a poet, he was an actor,
He
he
was a
was
diplomat. He was a writer.
Charlie, he was a diplomat, once a diplomat to the UN,
Right.
to I think Cuba, so Charlie, Prof actually cuts across,
Right. I agree
when
with
it
you.
comes to the arts, and when it comes to politics. So we've actually lost one big hero.
It's rather
It's sad.
unfortunate, and I can tell
Yeah,
this hits you personally because you've had the opportunity to interact with him on a very
yeah.
personal level, and that's rather unfortunate, and
It's so
I can
sad.
feel your
It's so
pain.
sad.
Now let's
So
move
sad.
into something less sorrowful and more exciting. Now I
Yeah,
hear Mensa and One Love, you know, vigorously working on the sequel to Kosov Moni. Now,
yeah.
I hear you play a certain role in that movie. Now, tell us, when is Cost of Money Part 2 coming out, and what is it going to be like as compared to the Part 1?
I will tell people that if they haven't watched Cause of Money Part 1, they should just go on YouTube now and search Cause of Money, and they would see, something unique, something special, something from here. The Part 2 is going to be something else. The Part 2, I keep on watching the rough, takes, and Charlie, it is too much. And this time it has, and like this time it has lots of people to
Right,
playing a part, so
right,
many people that you would know, so child, this Cost of Money, I'm actually don't want to give plenty out now, so you don't lose the spice.
right.
It's going to come out in like 2 months, and you will see something.
Now, that's very interesting. People, you're hearing it first time from Mutombo the Poet, who is also an actor in Cost of Money Part 2, and we're looking
Yeah,
forward to the release of this movie, which you're talking about 2 months from now, right?
yeah, it should be out in like 2 months.
Interesting. Now,
Hopefully.
as we speak, I noticed something different about you, and that is your hair. The last time we talked online, you had a lot of hair on your head, but presently there is no hair on your head. What did you do to all the hair?
Charlie, I'm stressed out too. I'm going through a whole lot. Today, I want to grow my hair. Tomorrow, I want to cut everything. Tomorrow, I want to just shape it. I'm going through so much stress. I mean, when I'm stressed, I do so many things to myself, and one of them is by doing things to my hair.
Right,
Stress about what I'm doing next with art form,
right,
spoken word, what to do next. Stressed about how to speak right, you know.
right.
So Charlie, I'm stressed about so many things, but Charlie, smallest time.
Like they say in Ghana, ego be.
It go be,
Well,
Charlie, it go be.
keep it together, Moto, because you have a lot of fans out here who love you personally and who love your work, and we're looking forward to getting and hearing more and more exciting things from you, especially seeing you act in Cost of Money Part 2. Now, before we
Charlie.
leave you, we would like for you to kindly recite a few, spoken word lines, and so our fans could have a first-hand appreciation of your poetry.
This goes out to Mohammed Bouazizi. If you don't know him, he's the guy who set himself ablaze and started all of this Arab Spring, all of this Middle East, stuff. So there's something to him. Mohammed Bouazizi, I warned you not to set yourself on fire, for my spring water quench your fire. Your anger was the fuel, so the flame rose higher. They thought you were defeated, but the government was a liar. Your act pricked mine, so your fellow Arabs sprang their version of revolution. Thought Tunisia was a joke, but Syria is now in chaos. I call this evolution. Ticks infested the seat of government, so Ben Ali had to flee. There is power in numbers. Mubarak placed in custody. No man is really free. Jeopardy is in Tripoli. Wait, Gaddafi fell? I thought it's a Tripoli. Libya is in shambles, economy in shackles. Middle East should see Ethiopia, fist in the air. Heaven should see bloody knuckles. Nowhere to focus. Can't blur out Somalia. The UN is bogus and that headquarters in Ethiopia. Bodies mangled on the sidewalk out of shape, chanting protesters in the square. Superman should save, make use of his cape, but there are chemicals in the air. You breathe in its siren, you breathe out its death. Sounds of arsenals and sirens render tender years death. Libyans regret, they wish they could reset. Gaddafi made her paradise, now citizens are in debt. They are going to war because of weapons, weapons of mass destruction. Bomb the innocent and landmarks, then hew Psalms used for reconstruction. Every weapon distracts, whether nuclear or rifle. America needs to deal with its gun control. Killings are towering like the Eiffel. Mohammed Bouazizi, I hope you know the cure. Until countries are content with what's within their boundaries, these problems will endure. Thank you.
Well, folks, you heard it right there. This is raw, uncut from Mutombo the Poet, the prolific spoken word
Yeah.
artist from Ghana. Now, Muto, that was very amazing. Thanks a lot for sharing that with us. Yeah, we greatly
Thank you.
appreciate it. And before we let go of you to enjoy the rest of your night, is there anything you'd like to leave with your fans?
Oh, Charlie, they should keep on listening to my works. They should go to hogshare.com/Mutombo or soundcloud.com/Mutombo the Poet, Twitter Mutombo the Poet. Just follow me, keep on sharing my works, and keep on supporting spoken word.
Thank you, sir. It's been nice talking to you, and we look forward to doing this again, Mutombo.
Again, please, you have finished my bundle.
The Ghana government will pay for internet bundle.
Charlie, thanks.